Good morning, warriors. Good morning, Mr. Lockyer. Please join me in the pledge to the Bible. I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word. I will make it a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will hide its words in my heart that I might not sin against God. Join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're working through our catechism. We'll jump in with, where is God? God is everywhere. Can you see God? No, I cannot see God, but I always see. Does God know all things? Yes, nothing can be hidden from God. Can God do all things? Where do you learn how to love and obey God? Who wrote the Bible? Who were our first parents? This is the one we've been working on. So I'll say, how did God create man? And you'll say, God created man, male and female, after his own image. So let's try it. How did God create man? That's an important distinction, that when God created male and female, he created them specifically and designed them specifically for specific purposes. Men and women were designed separately and distinctly. God was created them for specific purposes and plans that's unique to them. But we are all made in the image of God, which makes us special and unique. And that's why when we talk about honor others, we're actually talking about honoring image bearers, right? I'm a fellow image bearer, and I'm honoring them as God honors me. Let's talk about things that make school a better place. One is be a truth teller. And if you fall down, get back up and keep on going. No. Excuses, and never, especially when we get close to tests and things that are happening, we never panic. I'd like to welcome Ms. Carlisle up as she talks about prudence. So please welcome Ms. Carlisle.
Good morning, warriors.
Good morning, Ms. Carlisle.
You see, I have helpers today, so that's always a good thing, someone to help you when you need to do something. So I want to see what we might remember from yesterday when I shared with you from God's Word in Matthew 2 about the gift of the visit of the Magi and the gifts that they brought to Jesus. So do we know the king that was king of Bethlehem at that time? Can you just say it, everybody together on three? 1, 2, and 3. His name is King. Okay, somebody listened yesterday. Good job. Good job. So where were these wise men from? From the east or from the west?
East.
Yes. Okay. And of course, probably something that you know are the 3 gifts that they brought Jesus. And what were the gifts? Say them with me. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Yes. Thank you. Now, one of the little figurines that I brought yesterday was in a posture different than the other 2. Was this one, what was he doing when he saw Jesus? What was the first thing that he did? Say it if you will. He was kneeling, yes. A posture of putting ourselves at the feet of Jesus, even when he is and was a baby. One of the things I wanted to add to the story from yesterday was that King Herod had told these wise men, when you go and find Jesus, come back and tell me where he is, because I want to go and worship him. He really didn't want to go and worship him. He really just wanted to know where he was. he was feeling threatened that this ruler who had been prophesied to come would take his place, and he was not going to have that at all. So when the wise men gave their gifts to Jesus, and they were very pleased that they had found him and wanted to worship him, they also knew that if they went back and told Herod, that would not be a good thing, because they knew the heart of Herod was not to worship Jesus and adore him as the coming ruler and king. So God warned the Magi in a dream. So these wise men were able to listen to what God was saying to them in their dreams and to understand and to actually follow God's leading versus the leader of the day, which was Herod. And so they decided not to go back to Herod and tell him where Jesus was. So they went another way to go home. So that is one of the ways that we can actually think about, is there any way that we can be wise in things that we do? And we can if we listen. And one of the things that we do at this school, I'm sure that your teacher has told you often, listen to me, I have something to tell you. Oh, listen, don't talk so you can listen. We are trying very hard to train you to listen so that you can hear the things that we hope would guide you into being prudent and having wisdom. So I want to read this little verse, not a verse, sorry. It is a definition of what prudence would be like. It is one, that would be any one of you, who thinks and looks ahead. You are looking for possibilities of difficulties and problems that might come up, and you're going to prepare for them. So we're wanting you to be able to think ahead about things that you're going to do, things that you're going to say, maybe perhaps assignments that you might have, and be prepared for them. And it is a training. It's not like you're just going to wake up one day and I have it all together. I know what I'm going to do. I will do it. It is something that you work toward every day, and the teachers and the staffs here are here to help you do that. So what I wanted to have these students do with me here is to read you a couple of verses. Do you know there is, this book is how God speaks to us now. We don't always get to hear him in a dream and go, God said to me, you know, do this or that. We have his word, and we are wise if we read God's word and understand and follow what he says. There's one book in here particular, it's one of my favorite, it's Proverbs, and it is a book of wisdom, and it tells you just a multitude of things and how to think and how to act. So I wanted these students with me, thank you, and Logan, I'm going to ask you to read Proverbs 10:14. And then you'll just read your next verse and your next verse, okay? So I want you to listen to these verses. They're short, and I want you to see if you can hear something that is the same in each of the verses. Okay, go ahead.
Wise people store up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction.
Every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool lays open his folly.
A prudent man conceals knowledge, but the heart of a fool proclaim foolishness.
So if you were listening carefully to those verses, you would understand and you would hear that the fool is the one who decides not to listen and is ends up doing foolish things. Each of those verses are compared with the prudent person and then the foolish person. So we all have an opportunity, and yes, at times we will all be foolish. That's part of learning. But the thing is, you want to be able to try not to repeat your foolishness and to listen to those that have wisdom and that are trying to guide you and train you in wisdom. So I hope that you will enjoy your day and that you will listen to your teachers and that you will create habits that will help you to be prudent and to have prudence. All right, thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Ms. Carlisle. Well, today, instead of us singing a song, we're actually going to listen, as Ms. Carlisle has taught us. We're going to listen to a song. We have a quartet. When they performed it, one of the quartets had a wing that needed to be checked out. Thankfully, her wing's okay. And so we wanted to have everyone, as a full quartet, be able to perform for us to listen and enjoy. Job well done. You guys can have a seat. Yeah, go ahead and have a seat. All right, so today we get a chance to practice being prudent, being wise, and part of being wise is listening. So let's do a good job listening today. The Lord be with you.
And also with you.